Captain Alex Wren guided the small shuttle through the thick orange clouds of planet Zareth 7. The landing was rough but smooth enough to keep the precious cargo intact. Outside the viewport, the planet looked empty, barren, and silent. Mountains of jagged rock cut into the horizon, and strange glowing flora dotted the valleys below. Alex squinted, curiosity and caution mixing in equal parts. "Strange place," he muttered to himself, adjusting the controls. "Strange place is an understatement," a voice replied from the co-pilot seat. Lieutenant Cara Vey's eyes sparkled behind her glasses as she scanned the incoming data. Her hands moved over the console with precision. Cara had been with Alex on a few missions before, and she had a reputation for being brilliant, resourceful, and just a little stubborn. Alex chuckled. "You always say that about every place we visit." "Because every place has hidden surprises," she said, her voice calm but serious. "And Zareth 7 is no exception." The shuttle's landing gear groaned as it touched the rocky ground. Dust and small rocks skittered across the surface, illuminated by the shuttle's landing lights. Alex took a deep breath, feeling the familiar thrill of exploration, the same excitement that had drawn him to space when he was a boy staring at the stars. "Let's get this over with," he said, opening the door and stepping onto the strange soil. Cara followed, carrying a small tool kit and a data pad. The air was thin but breathable, and a faint electrical hum came from the rocks themselves. The outpost was only a few hundred meters away. A squat building of unknown design stood at the center of a clearing. Its metal walls reflected the orange sky, and lights flickered along the edges as if the building was breathing. It looked abandoned. As they approached, Alex noticed the door was slightly ajar. "That's never a good sign," he muttered. Cara only shrugged. Inside, the outpost was quiet, almost too quiet. Dust covered the floors, and panels along the walls flickered weakly. Alex ran his hand along a console, and the lights blinked in response. It was alive, but barely. Cara crouched next to a central terminal. "This place is old, but the tech is advanced. Whoever built this knew what they were doing." Alex glanced around. "Do you always have to sound so smart?" "I do," Cara replied without looking up. "And sometimes it saves our lives." Alex rolled his eyes, but he couldn't deny the truth. The two of them moved deeper into the outpost, their footsteps echoing in the empty halls. Every room had a purpose: laboratories, storage areas, sleeping quarters, but nothing was working. At last, they reached the small living area. Alex opened the door and paused. "Looks cozy." Cara looked around, her expression serious. "There's only one bed here," she warned, her voice calm but firm. Alex smirked. "Then we'll have to share." Cara raised an eyebrow and didn't answer, turning instead to inspect the control panels along the walls. Alex shrugged, feeling the familiar spark of mischief. They would find a way to get through the night. They always did. The outpost's main computer flickered to life suddenly, making both of them jump. A soft, mechanical voice echoed through the room. "Unknown life forms detected. Security protocols initiating." Alex and Cara exchanged glances. "I thought this place was abandoned," Alex said. "Apparently not," Cara replied. She quickly typed commands into her portable console, trying to understand the AI's behavior. "It's old, but it's still operational. That means it could be dangerous." Alex grinned. "Perfect. I like a little danger." The AI's lights pulsed in response. Panels along the walls hummed and clicked, almost as if the building was alive. Cara frowned. "It's not just dangerous, it's smart, and it doesn't know us yet." Alex laughed. "Well, let's introduce ourselves, shall we?" For the next hour, they worked to stabilize the systems. Cara's fingers flew across the console as she bypassed security locks and recalibrated the energy fields powering the building. Alex helped by monitoring the environmental systems, checking oxygen levels and temperature. The outpost groaned and shivered under their touch, as if waking from a long slumber. Finally, the lights in the living area stabilized, casting a warm glow across the room. Alex flopped onto the bed, which seemed comically small for both of them. Kara leaned against the wall, shaking her head. "You do realize the AI could activate traps at any moment?" she said. Alex waved a hand lazily. "Then I'll just have to be quick on my feet." Kara ignored him, her eyes scanning the room for hidden sensors or cameras. "We need to check the storage room," she said. "There could be something we can use, tools, weapons, anything." The two of them moved cautiously through the corridors. Strange symbols were etched into the walls, glowing faintly. Alex reached out to touch one, and it sparked with energy. He jerked his hand back. Kara frowned. "Be careful. This technology isn't like anything we've seen before." They entered the storage room, finding crates filled with strange devices and materials. Kara's eyes lit up. "This is incredible. We could study this for months." Alex picked up a small metallic sphere. It hummed in his hand. "Looks dangerous. Definitely useful." Suddenly, the floor shook beneath their feet. A low rumble echoed through the walls. Alex and Kara froze, listening. The AI's voice spoke again, calm but mechanical. "Energy anomaly detected. Prepare for containment procedures." Alex looked at Kara. "Containment procedures? That doesn't sound friendly." Kara nodded. "We need to secure the living area, now." They ran back to the central room, dodging flickering lights and sparks flying from damaged panels. Once inside, Kara started sealing the doors while Alex monitored the energy readings on his portable console. The bed, small as it was, suddenly seemed like the safest place in the building. As night fell on Zaref 7, the outpost's hum became louder, almost alive. Alex leaned back on the bed, watching Kara work. He could see the determination in her eyes, the sharp intelligence that had saved them countless times before. And he realized, despite the small room and the strange circumstances, he felt at home. Kara finally looked up. "We should rest. There's a long night ahead, and the AI isn't going to stop." Alex grinned, lying back. "Then we'll just keep each other awake. Sounds fun." Kara rolled her eyes but allowed a small smile. For now, the outpost was silent. The strange planet calm. But they both knew this was only the beginning. Adventure was waiting, and humanity had a way of thriving, even in the strangest of places. Outside, the winds of Zaref 7 howled softly, carrying a promise of challenges yet to come. Inside, two humans prepared for whatever the night would bring, ready to prove that cleverness, courage, and a little humor could face even the unknown. And in the quiet room with only one bed, the spark of humanity burned bright. The room was quiet, the only sound the low hum of the outpost's machines. Alex lay on the small bed, staring at the ceiling, while Kara sat on the edge of the single chair, reviewing the readings on her console. Both were alert, knowing that the AI could act at any moment. "This place feels alive," Alex said finally, breaking the silence. Kara didn't look up. "It is alive, just not in the way we're used to. The systems here respond to energy, movement, even sound. One wrong step and it could trap us, or worse." Alex grinned, unbothered. "Then we just have to be smarter than it is." Kara raised an eyebrow. "That's the plan, genius. But first, we need to know what we're dealing with." She tapped a few keys, and the screen filled with graphs, lights, and alien symbols. The AI had begun scanning them, analyzing every movement. Kara interpreted the data quickly. "It doesn't seem hostile, yet. But it's testing us, learning from our reactions. We need to stay calm." Alex sat up on the bed. "Stay calm? I thought you just said one wrong step could trap us or worse." I don't calm under pressure, I act. Kara shook her head with a small smile. Then act smart, not fast. That's the difference. Outside, the planet's winds rumbled, carrying sparks of light from distant storms. The outpost's walls shivered with each gust, making the room feel even smaller. Alex swung his legs over the side of the bed and began inspecting the room, looking for anything they could use in case of trouble. "Look at this," he said, pointing to a small panel near the floor. It contained an unfamiliar device shaped like a cube with tiny lights pulsing inside. "Any idea what this does?" Kara knelt beside him, examining the cube. "Not entirely. It looks like some kind of power source or energy regulator. If we're careful, we might be able to use it to stabilize the AI's systems." Alex's grin widened. "See? That's why I like working with you. You figure out the tricky stuff, I handle the risky stuff." Kara smirked. "And yet, sometimes the risky stuff is what saves our lives." They worked in silence for a while, testing the cube and connecting it to various consoles. Slowly, the hum of the building became steadier, less erratic. It seemed the outpost was responding to their efforts. Just as Alex leaned back, satisfied, a sudden flash of light filled the room. The AI's voice rang out, calm but firm. "Energy imbalance detected. Security protocol activated." Kara's eyes widened. "It knows something is happening. Be ready." Before Alex could react, a section of the wall slid open, revealing a hidden chamber filled with strange glowing devices. The air was thick with electricity. Alex's heart raced. This was no ordinary outpost. Kara moved first, scanning the devices carefully. "These are energy cores," she said. "If we're lucky, they can stabilize the AI permanently. But if we touch the wrong one..." Alex didn't need her to finish. He stepped forward, carefully selecting a core. It hummed in his hand, warm and pulsing with energy. The AI's lights flickered, but it didn't attack. Kara followed, choosing another core. Together, they placed the cubes into the central console. The lights steadied, and the hum of the building became smooth and even. The AI's voice returned, softer now. Stability achieved. Learning protocol paused. Alex exhaled deeply. "Well, that was exciting. And by exciting, I mean terrifying." Kara laughed softly. "You should be glad it didn't see us as a threat. One mistake, and we could have been locked in here forever." The room was silent again, but Alex couldn't help but feel a thrill. He had always loved challenges, and tonight had delivered. Kara, sensing his energy, leaned back in the chair. "We need to rest. Sort of. The AI could start testing again at any moment." Alex nodded. "Fine, but if I fall asleep, you better wake me up." Kara shook her head. "I won't. You'll have to manage on your own." The two settled in for a tense night. Alex lay back on the small bed, staring at the ceiling. Kara sat nearby, monitors glowing softly in front of her. Outside, the storm continued, and the outpost's walls creaked with every gust. Every sound made them tense. Every flicker of light felt like a signal. Hours passed. The AI remained quiet, as if it were observing without action. Alex found himself thinking about the planet, the strange energy, and the fact that humanity had sent people like them into the unknown and trusted them to survive. He smiled faintly. That trust, that courage, was what made humans remarkable. "Alex," Kara said quietly, breaking his thoughts, "the AI isn't completely stable. It's still analyzing us. If we want to leave here tomorrow, we need a plan." Alex propped himself on one elbow. "Plan? You mean like a blueprint for surviving the night?" "Exactly." Kara's fingers moved over the console, pulling up diagrams of the outpost. "We need to monitor all access points. Any movement in the outer halls triggers a sensor. If the AI decides to test us again, we'll see it coming." Alex nodded. "Good. Then I'll handle the sensors. You handle the tech." Together they worked quietly, dividing tasks and communicating in soft whispers. It was teamwork at its finest. Two humans against an alien system, relying on instinct, logic, and each other. Suddenly, a soft vibration ran through the floor. Alex froze. Kara's eyes narrowed. The AI had activated a new protocol, and something was moving outside the room. "Stay calm," Kara whispered. "It's probably just testing the doors." Alex gripped a nearby pipe, ready to react. The vibration grew stronger, accompanied by a faint metallic scraping. Something was coming closer. Kara tapped the console furiously, opening a door remotely just as a strange, mechanical arm extended into the room. It paused, analyzing them. Alex jumped back, heart racing. "Humans!" the AI's voice said again. "Adaptation observed. Cooperation observed. Intruder protocol canceled." The arm retracted, and the vibrations stopped. Alex exhaled slowly. "Well, that was intense." Kara shook her head, smiling slightly. "And this is only the first night. Imagine what the AI will test next." Alex lay back on the bed, feeling exhausted but alive. He looked at Kara, who was still at the console, her eyes bright with focus. Despite the danger, the uncertainty, and the strange planet around them, he felt a surge of pride. Humans could handle this. Humans could face the unknown and thrive. Kara finally leaned back, glancing at Alex. "Try to sleep. We'll need energy for tomorrow." Alex smiled faintly. "Fine. But if the AI wakes me up in the middle of the night, I'm blaming you." Kara rolled her eyes, but there was warmth in her expression. "Deal. But remember, the one bed is ours to share. At least until we figure this out." Alex chuckled softly. "I'm okay with that, as long as it doesn't bite." Outside, the winds of Zareth 7 raged on. Inside, two humans rested, ready for whatever challenges the night might bring. And in that small room, with only one bed and an intelligent alien system watching them, humanity's courage and cleverness shone brightly. The outpost had tested them once, and humans had responded. It was only the beginning of what would become an extraordinary adventure. The night on Zareth 7 had passed without incident, but Alex and Kara knew it was only a matter of time before the AI or the planet itself tested them again. The small outpost, which had seemed silent and abandoned, now felt alive with potential threats. Alex stretched on the tiny bed, rubbing his eyes. "I think I might actually get used to this," he said, though the tremor in his voice betrayed his unease. Kara shook her head, her eyes scanning the monitors. "Get used to it? Alex, the first rule of unknown planets is never get comfortable. This place is unpredictable." Alex grinned. "Unpredictable is my favorite kind of adventure." Kara rolled her eyes but didn't argue. She had learned long ago that trying to make Alex cautious was usually a wasted effort. By mid-morning, the sun, or what passed for a sun on Zareth 7, crept over the jagged horizon, casting long, strange shadows across the rocky terrain outside the outpost. The storm from the night before had passed, leaving a quiet calm. But Kara's sensors picked up something unusual. "Alex, look at this," she said, pointing to a readout on her console. "There's movement in the storage bay. Something is inside the outpost." Alex sat up quickly, his grin replaced by alertness. "Movement? You mean an intruder?" "Yes, but not human," Kara replied. "The sensors indicate organic energy, but alien." Alex stood, rolling his shoulders. "Well, it wouldn't be an adventure if everything was easy, would it?" Kara frowned. "I'm serious, Alex. This could be dangerous. We don't know what it wants or how intelligent it is." Alex walked toward the storage bay, crouching slightly as he moved. "Then we'll just have to figure it out. Together." As they approached the storage room, a faint scratching noise echoed from the walls. Alex's hand hovered over the nearest control panel, ready to activate any defense mechanism. Kara held her portable scanner steady, analyzing the energy signature of whatever had entered the outpost. Suddenly, a creature leaped from the shadows. It was small, roughly the size of a large dog, but its body was covered in metallic scales that shimmered in the dim light. Its eyes glowed a deep blue, intelligent and curious. It paused, watching them cautiously, while its thin, clawed limbs twitched as if testing the floor beneath it. Alex froze for a moment, then whispered, "Okay. Definitely not friendly, but not huge. We can handle this." Kara whispered back, "It doesn't look hostile yet, but we can't take chances. We need a containment plan." The alien moved closer, tilting its head as if studying them. Alex slowly raised a hand, showing he meant no immediate harm. The creature paused, its eyes flicking between the two humans. Kara moved beside Alex, whispering, "I can create a temporary energy cage using the power cores from last night. It won't harm it, but it will stop it from escaping." Alex nodded. "Do it. I'll distract it." He grabbed a small metallic sphere from the storage area, shaking it gently to make a soft, buzzing noise. The creature's attention shifted immediately, curiosity replacing caution. It stepped closer, sniffing the air, its claws clicking softly on the floor. Kara worked quickly, connecting the cores to the portable console and activating a thin, glowing barrier in front of the room. The alien paused mid-step, sensing the invisible wall. It hissed softly, then circled the barrier, trying to find a weakness. "Almost there," Kara muttered. Her hands flew across the console. "Just a few more seconds?" Alex kept the creature occupied, waving the sphere in gentle arcs to lure it away from the door. The alien followed eagerly, its glowing eyes fixed on the light. Finally, Kara activated the cage completely, enclosing the creature in a glowing energy field that restricted its movement without harming it. Alex stepped back, wiping his brow. "That worked. Nicely done, engineer." Kara gave a small smile. "We need to study it. It could be valuable, or dangerous, or both." The creature hissed softly from inside the cage, moving carefully but seemingly unharmed. It tilted its head, clearly curious about the humans who had trapped it. Kara tapped on her console, running diagnostic scans. "This is incredible," she whispered. "It's not just intelligent, it's learning from us. Its brain waves are adaptive. It's processing every move we make." Alex leaned against a console, impressed. "Of course. Anything that can survive on a planet like this has to be smart. Humans are just lucky to be able to match that sometimes." Kara nodded. "Exactly. And that's what makes humanity unique. We can adapt, think quickly, and improvise when the situation demands it." Alex smiled. "HFY moment right there. We can handle things because we think differently." Kara didn't argue. Instead, she focused on observing the creature, documenting its behavior and energy patterns. The more they watched, the clearer it became that the alien wasn't inherently aggressive. It was cautious, curious, and intelligent, like them in a way, but in a completely alien form. Hours passed as they monitored the creature, taking care not to provoke it. Every time it approached the energy barrier, it paused, sniffed, and tested the edges. Kara noted its patterns, predicting its next moves with remarkable accuracy. Alex helped by guiding the creature's curiosity toward harmless objects, diverting it from sensitive equipment. By evening, the alien seemed calm, even familiar with their presence. Alex and Kara shared a small, relieved glance. They had survived the initial encounter, learned something about the creature, and maintained control without violence. "We need to decide what to do next," Kara said finally, turning from her console. "We can't keep it in the cage forever, and the outpost is too fragile for a long-term containment." Alex nodded. We either let it go or find a way to communicate. But it looks like it's smart enough to understand, maybe even trust us. Kara's eyes brightened. Exactly. And if we can communicate or guide it, it might even help us stabilize the outpost further. Imagine an alien ally. Alex grinned. I like the sound of that. Let's give it a chance. They approached the energy cage slowly, hands raised in non-threatening gestures. The creature watched them, tilting its head, sensing their intentions. Kara carefully adjusted the cage, creating a temporary opening. Go slowly, she whispered. Alex took a small step forward, then another. It's okay. We're not here to hurt you. The alien paused, then hesitantly stepped out of the cage. Its claws clicked softly on the metal floor as it moved closer to Kara and Alex. It sniffed at their hands, then at the tools and devices they had set nearby. Kara watched, fascinated. It's learning, she whispered. It understands. Curiosity and caution. That's all it needs to survive. Alex nodded. And maybe, just maybe, we can work together. Human ingenuity plus alien instinct. That's a combination no AI or planet can beat. For the next few hours, they tested the creature's abilities, discovering it could interface with the outpost's systems in ways they hadn't imagined. It could power generators, stabilize circuits, and even detect hidden energy fluctuations. Kara's excitement was palpable as she recorded every interaction. By the end of the night, the alien had become an unexpected ally, working alongside them to maintain the outpost. Alex laughed softly, looking at Kara. I guess we just made a friend. Not exactly what I expected, but I'll take it. Kara smiled. Unexpected is normal here. The key is adapting. And humans, we're very good at that. Outside, the winds of Zareth 7 howled gently, carrying the scent of strange minerals and alien flora. Inside, a small team of humans and an intelligent alien creature worked together, their combined ingenuity proving once again that humanity could face the unknown and thrive. As they settled for the night, Alex glanced at the small bed they had shared the previous night. One bed, 2 humans, and now an alien. Life keeps getting stranger. Kara laughed softly. And we'll survive it just like always. That's what makes us human. And on Zareth 7, in a quiet outpost surrounded by strange landscapes and glowing flora, humanity's courage, curiosity, and adaptability shone brighter than ever. The morning sun on Zareth 7 cast long golden streaks across the rocky plains, glinting off the alien flora that glowed faintly in the early light. The outpost, once abandoned and silent, now hummed with activity. Alex and Kara moved swiftly through the corridors, with the small alien creature, whom Kara had affectionately nicknamed Nix, scuttling close behind. Alex paused near the control panel, rubbing his eyes. I still can't get over this. We've got an intelligent alien working with us, stabilizing the systems, and somehow we survived the night. Kara smiled faintly, her hands flying over the console. Don't get too comfortable. Stabilizing is temporary. There's still more to do. The AI hasn't finished its tests, and the energy fluctuations in the storage bay are increasing. Alex raised an eyebrow. Energy fluctuations? You mean the building might explode at any second? Kara ignored the sarcasm. Not explode, but if we don't address them, the outpost could collapse, or worse, shut down completely. That would leave us stranded with no life support. Alex's grin returned, tinged with excitement. Sounds like a perfect challenge for humanity. Let's fix it. Together, the trio moved toward the storage bay, where Kara had previously confined Nix. The alien followed willingly as if it understood that the humans were now allies, not threats. The energy levels in the room were unstable, pulsing rapidly in sharp bursts. Alex and Kara exchanged a glance. This was a situation where one wrong move could be catastrophic. "We need to spread the load across multiple systems," Kara explained. "If we reroute the energy through the auxiliary circuits, we can stabilize the mainframe and prevent overloads." Alex nodded. "Show me what to do, engineer." "I'm good with heavy lifting and quick thinking." Kara led him through a series of complicated procedures, explaining each step as Alex executed them. Nix hovered nearby, surprisingly precise, extending a claw-like limb to manipulate small switches and wires that neither human could reach easily. Together, the three of them worked in perfect coordination. Minutes passed, and the energy fluctuations began to decrease. The outpost's hum became steady again, signaling a temporary victory. Alex exhaled, wiping sweat from his brow. "Okay, that felt good, but I have a feeling the AI isn't done yet." Kara's fingers danced across the console. "You're right. It's adapting, learning from our fixes. If we leave it alone now, it will challenge us again tomorrow. We need to reinforce the core systems permanently." Alex glanced at Nix, who seemed to be watching them intently, almost as if it understood the conversation. "And I guess that means we're going to need some serious teamwork. Human brains, alien instinct, and engineering genius." Kara gave a small laugh. "Exactly. Let's start by checking the power cores. They need to be realigned and redistributed. Nix, can you help with the physical connections?" The creature chirped softly, scuttling toward the first core. Alex and Kara moved quickly, monitoring energy outputs while Nix adjusted the cables and panels with surprising dexterity. The coordination between the three was remarkable. Human ingenuity complemented by alien instincts, creating a synergy that even the AI seemed to recognize. Suddenly, the lights flickered, and the outpost shook violently. Kara cursed under her breath. The AI just tested the system's emergency protocols. Something triggered a surge. Alex jumped back from the nearest console. "A surge? That sounds dangerous." Kara's eyes narrowed. "It is. If we don't act fast, the surge could fry the circuits we just fixed. Alex, help me reroute the secondary grid. Nix, stay close to the core." The next few minutes were intense. Sparks flew from the panels as energy coursed through the circuits. Alex and Kara worked in perfect sync, shouting short instructions and warnings. Nix chirped and clacked its claws, moving swiftly to adjust any loose connections. Finally, with a loud click, the main console stabilized. The humming of the outpost shifted to a steady, calm rhythm. Kara collapsed against the wall, exhausted but smiling. Alex leaned against the bed, laughing with relief. "We did it. The outpost is officially ours." Nix chirped again, hopping onto the console as if proud of its contribution. Alex reached out a hand, and the creature tapped it lightly, acknowledging their teamwork. Kara shook her head, amused. "I have to admit, this is kind of amazing. Humans and an alien working together to reclaim a base. I didn't think I'd ever see something like this." Alex smirked. "Told you, engineer. Unpredictable places are perfect for humans. We adapt, we improvise, and sometimes we make friends along the way." Kara glanced around, her expression turning serious again. "We still need to secure communications. The outpost has a beacon, but it's offline. If we can repair it, we can call for extraction. That's our next priority." Alex nodded. "Lead the way. I'll keep an eye on Nix." Together, they moved to the communications hub, a room filled with consoles, antennas, and blinking lights. Kara began diagnosing the broken systems, while Alex and Nix worked on clearing debris and reconnecting damaged circuits. The task was challenging, as some parts were corroded, others damaged by the previous night's energy surge. Hours passed. Sweat dripped from Alex's forehead, and Kara's fingers ached from typing and adjusting controls. Nix chirped encouragingly, moving with incredible precision. Slowly, the main console powered up, the blinking lights stabilizing. "Almost there," Kara muttered, adjusting the frequency settings. Just need to synchronize with the orbital relay. Alex's grin widened. Synchronize what now? Kara ignored him, her focus absolute. Done, she exclaimed finally. The screens displayed a stable signal. The beacon is live. We can contact the shuttle and get extracted. Alex laughed with relief. Finally, humans, alien, and engineer triumph over abandoned tech. Kara rolled her eyes but allowed a small smile. It's a team victory. Don't forget that. Without Nyx and our combined efforts, none of this would have been possible. The AI's voice echoed softly through the outpost. Humans demonstrate cooperation, problem-solving, and adaptability. Observation complete, threat neutralized. Alex grinned at Kara. See, even the AI approves. Kara laughed lightly. I think it's more surprised than approving. As the day faded into evening, the outpost settled into calm again. Outside, the winds of Zareth 7 whispered across the rocky terrain, the alien flora glowing softly in the twilight. Alex, Kara, and Nyx stood together, looking over the corridors they had restored and stabilized. Alex glanced at Kara, a teasing smile on his face. 1 bed, 2 humans, 1 alien, and a fully operational outpost. Not bad for a day's work. Kara shook her head, smiling. You and your jokes. But yes, we did good. Nyx chirped, hopping onto the bed for a moment before curling up near the console. Alex laughed softly. I think it likes the bed too. Maybe next time we won't have to share as much space. Kara rolled her eyes, but there was warmth in her expression. 1 bed is enough for humans tonight, and it's been a good night. We survived, we stabilized the outpost, and we even made an alien ally. That's enough for me. Alex nodded, leaning back and closing his eyes for a moment. The exhaustion of the day weighed on him. But it was the good kind of tired, the kind that came from survival, problem-solving, and triumph. For Kara, it was a quiet satisfaction. The outpost had been reclaimed, the AI stabilized, and their teamwork had proven once again that humanity could face challenges and come out stronger. Even an alien presence couldn't disrupt their efficiency. Instead, it had become a symbol of adaptability and trust. As night fell, the outpost hummed softly with energy. Lights flickered gently, the atmosphere warm and calm. Outside, the alien world of Zareth 7 glowed under distant moons, untouched and mysterious. Inside, humans and an alien shared the small space, working together and resting in cautious comfort. The first steps toward understanding, cooperation, and mutual respect had been made. Alex glanced at the small bed they had shared before, the one corner where Nyx now curled up near the console. Tomorrow, he said softly, we'll be ready for whatever comes next. And if it's anything like today, we'll handle it. Kara nodded, her eyes reflecting the soft glow of the console lights. We always do. Humans survive, we adapt, we learn. That's what makes us strong. And in that quiet outpost on a strange alien world, with dangers past and challenges yet to come, humanity's courage, ingenuity, and spirit burned brighter than ever. The outpost was reclaimed. Humanity had proven its resilience, and the adventure, as always, was far from over. Alex stood in the center of the command room with sweat rolling down his forehead. The air felt heavy, almost electric, as if the entire outpost was holding its breath. Kara was beside him, eyes sharp, fingers moving quickly across the broken console. Core meltdown in 8 minutes, the AI repeated in its calm voice. Evacuation is advised. Alex huffed out a breath. Yeah, thanks for the helpful advice. Kara didn't laugh. Her expression remained focused. She knew they didn't have 8 minutes. They had maybe 6 if the damage to the generators was spreading as fast as she suspected. Alex, she said quietly, this is serious. The energy inside the core is not just normal energy. It's the same strange field that lifted the outpost. If it goes out of control, it could rip the whole planet, Alex finished, and we're standing right on it. Kara nodded. We need to stabilize it, not escape. Alex cracked a small smile. Even in danger, Kara stayed brilliant and brave. Then let's go save the planet. They rushed down the main hallway, their boots echoing across the metal floors. The walls shook every few seconds, and sparks fell from the ceiling. The outpost seemed to be crying in pain as its systems overloaded. Core chamber is below the main generator room, Kara said, checking her handheld device. But the lift is offline, so we need to use the manual ladder. Alex groaned. Perfect. Nothing says heroic ending like climbing down a dark hole. When they reached the shaft, the heat blasted against their faces. The ladder stretched down into darkness, glowing faintly from the orange light below. Kara climbed first, and Alex followed, trying not to look down. Don't slip, Kara said. Whoa, thanks for the advice, Alex muttered. Really helpful. When they reached the bottom, the air felt alive. The core chamber was a circular room with a giant crystal-like engine in the center. It pulsed with bright orange and white energy, lighting the entire chamber in flashes. Alex stared. That thing, it's beautiful. And extremely unstable, Kara reminded him. Look at the readings. The crystal was covered in cracks. Each crack leaked thin streams of energy that reached toward the walls like glowing vines. Kara moved toward the main control panel. I think I can stabilize it, but I need you to adjust the energy dampeners around the room. Alex blinked. The what? Kara pointed. Those 4 metal towers. Each one releases an energy pulse that keeps the core balanced. They're out of sync. You fix the dampeners. I handle the command panel. Alex saluted. On it. He dashed toward the first dampener. It was shaking violently, its lights flickering. He grabbed the side panel and opened it. The wires inside sparked angrily. You're really not helping, he told the machine. Using tools from his belt, he reconnected the burnt wires and hit the reboot button. The tower steadied, one down. Kara called out, Good! Do the next one! Alex ran to the second tower. Another explosion shook the room, making him stumble. You okay? Kara shouted. Yeah, just being tossed around by a dying alien building. Totally normal. The second dampener was worse. Half the wiring was melted. Alex pulled spare parts from his toolkit, working as fast as he could. Sweat coated his hands. His chest burned from running and climbing. When he finished, the second tower steadied as well. 2 more. Kara was typing fast at the command panel. Her face was tight with concentration. She was manually rewriting the AI's failsafes, bypassing corrupted code at lightning speed. Meanwhile, Alex sprinted toward the third tower. Before he could reach it, the AI spoke again. Warning! Structural failure in progress. Evacuate immediately. Alex yelled at the ceiling. We're a little busy saving your whole building. Kara called out. Focus, Alex. Ignore it. He fixed the third tower, though the entire thing was vibrating like it might explode any second. When it finally stabilized, he saw Kara's face soften with relief. One more, she shouted. The last dampener stood across the room, but the path to it was blocked by a fallen beam and burning debris. Alex looked at it and sighed. Of course it is. He didn't think twice. He pushed the beam aside, ignoring the heat. He covered his face with one arm and ran through the smoke. His eyes burned, but he kept going. At the final dampener, he pulled off the cover and began working. His fingers shook. His breath came fast. Sparks flew in his face. Come on, he whispered. The tower flickered. For a moment he feared it wouldn't work. Then finally, beep. The light turned steady. All dampeners online, Alex shouted. Kara slammed one final command into the panel. Then let's finish this. She pressed the activation button. The core roared. A burst of white light filled the chamber. Alex shielded his eyes. The crystal glowed brighter and brighter until the cracks sealed themselves. The swirling energy calmed, flowing smoothly through its center like a heartbeat. The floor stopped shaking. The fire on the walls faded. For the first time in hours, the outpost fell silent. Kara slumped against the panel, breathing heavily. Alex walked toward her, his arms weak from effort. "You okay?" he asked softly. She looked up at him. Her glasses were cracked. Her hair was messy. But she was smiling, really smiling. "We did it," she whispered. Alex grinned. "Told you we'd save the day." The AI spoke again, but its voice was different, gentler, calmer. Core stabilized, energy waves returning to normal. "Thank you, human visitors." Alex raised an eyebrow. "See? Even the creepy AI loves us now." Kara shook her head, laughing tiredly. "Let's get out of here before something else breaks." They climbed back up the ladder, this time moving slowly. Their muscles were exhausted. When they reached the main level, the lights in the outpost were soft and steady again. Alex walked into the living room and collapsed onto the one bed. Kara followed him in. "Move over." Alex chuckled and shifted to make space. "Two people, one bed. Destiny, I tell you." She rolled her eyes but sat beside him. "We need rest. Tomorrow we send a message to command. They need to know this outpost is still alive." Alex looked around the room, the warm lights, the quiet hum, the safe atmosphere. "Think we'll get a reward?" he asked. Kara gave him a sideways smile. "Probably not. But we kept the planet safe. That's worth more." The outpost creaked softly as if settling down for sleep. Outside, the sky of Zareph 7 glowed with new calm. The storms faded. The strange energy field around the outpost dimmed into a warm halo. Alex sighed and leaned back. "Hey, Kara?" "Yes?" "You're pretty amazing. You know." Kara didn't respond immediately, but after a moment she answered softly. "You too, Alex." For a while they stayed quiet, listening to the gentle hum of the revived outpost. The danger was gone. The mission was successful. Humanity had survived another strange challenge in a faraway corner of the galaxy. And in that small room with only one bed, two tired explorers rested, knowing they had faced the unknown and won. Humanity had proven itself once again, clever, brave, stubborn, and unbreakable. And tomorrow, they would continue the adventure.